Hey, welcome to another episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. I haven't done a review in this corner in a long time, so might as well make use of all the various locales while I still have time. Anyways, got a beer tonight that I've heard a lot of great things about from a lot of people I really trust, so let's get right to it. None other than the famous Stone Ruination 10th Anniversary IPA, ruining palates for 10 years. Pretty big beer at 10.8% ABV in this bomber. Very long description on the back, but would you expect anything else from Stone? Get in the glass, very similar look to, regular Ruination or most West Coast double IPAs. Just orange body, opaque for sure. Typical kind of eggshell, beige, creamy, frothy head on there. Massive tropical fruit. It's not so much like the tart citrus of grapefruit and tangerine stuff. This is more like mango, papaya, passion fruit. Very, sweet smelling, very... it almost smells like juice. Let's see if it tastes like juice. Cheers. Oh yeah. It kind of does taste like juice. It's very similar to 𝓑𝓬𝓮𝓬𝓲𝓷, which is very similar to regular Ruination, and a lot of the other beers of the type. Very bitter, very sweet. Just like with the nose, getting the taste, the juiciness of all these tropical fruits. A little bit of syrupy, kind of resiny-ness on the back end. It's bitter throughout the whole thing. Bitter up front, bitter in the middle, bitter on the end. But at the same time, very sweet. Right to the middle there, right as it's, transitioning from first to second, you get this nice, really refreshing fruit juice taste. Kind of like what I said, 𝓑𝓬𝓮 has that too. Really, really smooth. Nice hop bite right on the finish there. It's right as it's giving you that hop bite, it's super dry, but ironically the hops really don't linger here. I'm not saying it's a completely clean aftertaste, it's not, but it's not I don't feel like I'm drinking carbonated syrup on this one. I feel like I'm drinking a much smaller beer than 10.8 ABV. And for such a big beer, such a bitter beer, there's even this point right in the middle where it's actually quite refreshing. Since we're working on a big bomber and a big beer, I'm going to take a break. I'll come back with my final thoughts on the Ruination 10th Anniversary. Cheers. Alright, final thoughts and grades for the Stone Ruination. Yeah, it's a 10. It definitely lives up to the hype. Like I said, I've seen a lot of other beer tubers and just people in general review this beer, and they've all said it's, it's Ruination on steroids or however else you want to describe it. I really didn't think that they could improve or or change the recipe all that much. I mean, it is almost the identical recipe with just more energy to it, just more presence, just more robustness. And maybe if we could get fresh Ruination here on the East Coast, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's just the same. I mean, maybe the people on the West Coast are like, oh yeah, it's just regular. It's just regular Ruination with more booze or whatever. But to me, this is, wow, this is, it's really impressive. I mean, if I absolutely had to find a flaw, is that the palate gets, very bitter and very dry after only a few swigs. By the time I took my break, the palate had stopped, changing. It was just basically the same, basically one flavor over and over again. That kind of juiciness that was there in the middle at the beginning just gets, enveloped, is that how you pronounce it? Enveloped by the just raw bitterness of the hops. But throughout the whole thing, the alcohol, 10.8%, I went into this thinking, oh man, this is going to be a beast. It's going to be like trying to drink an entire, barley wine by myself, but it's really not. It's just like drinking any other regular, 7-8% double IPA. The alcohol presence is subtle, it's there. Giving it slight kind of vanilla, slight rum on it, but it's you know, otherwise I just don't really recognize it at all. There's no, you know, it's not like you're, you know, breathing fire or whatever. Yeah, so it's really, really, really good. I have to say I still like Pliny a little bit better because it's, you know, not quite so ballsy and it's more genuinely refreshing. But I mean, this is Stone Ruination. It is, that's the whole point of it. It's supposed to be big, ballsy, super bitter beer. And I actually feel like I'm not doing it justice because like this is like you almost need to have some jambalaya or, you know, some kind of like really spicy food to like you know, offset it. But just drinking it on its own, it's a great dessert beer because it's so sweet and fruity because like the hop characters giving it like that nice tropical fruit juice taste. You know, great drinkability on it, as I said before, very smooth, next to no alcohol presence. I was able to kill this whole bottle by myself, no problem. So yeah, I was surprised. It's one of the few beers that's actually lived up to the hype. So yeah, like I said, 10 out of 10 for Stone Ruination 10th Anniversary IPA. I think that's how the official name of it. So, a very good beer to, you know, wind down the show with. Thanks for watching this episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. We only got 4 left after this one, so, you know, be sure to stick around. Cheers.